Good morning. Just putting my glove on here again. Just bear with me. Yeah, it could be much warmer this morning here in Kent. Anyway, yesterday I had a fantastic day. On you go. I had a fantastic day. I was invited up to have lunch with a great MindStore member, and he had booked a table at a fantastic French restaurant. It was really cool, and it was in Marylebone High Street. You may know where that is. But I saw it by train, got the tube to Baker Street, and when I was walking along the road, I noticed, as I've noticed a lot in London, there was a young lady sitting on the ground with a little cardboard thing saying, "I'm starving, can you help?" or something. And I went over to her and to see if I could have a chat with her, and she couldn't speak any English. I've no idea where she came from, no idea how she got there, but she was just sitting there. It just abject depression, and it was, I mean, seriously cold. Yeah, it was really challenging. On you go, Stella. And she was sitting in exactly the wrong place, you know, and I was wanting to see if I could say to her, look, most people can buy, in fact everybody can buy, who's got cash, especially that part of London, they're all going about with cards, and who's going to risk their card, even if she had some sort of card reader. You sometimes see that with, you know, people like selling the big issue or something. Are you going to risk your cards with it? Probably not. And so I was going to say, well, go and sit outside some food place, at least people might give you some food. But no, she couldn't. Anyway, so I had to leave and head down to, but I had about half an hour before we were due to have to meet for the meal. So I walked along the high street there, and it's just, I mean, I joked about it when I finally met up. You know, there isn't a street like that I'm aware of anywhere in the UK other than London. And that's just one of those thoroughfares, isn't it? I mean, it was just bounding in affluence and success and expensive clothing stores, nice restaurants, nice cafes, nice people. You know, it was really, really interesting. And then I came across another person similar to the lady, who's a guy sitting in the street, you know, and he was sitting outside a clothing store, a very, very posh clothing store, and he was not getting anywhere, you know, and at least he could speak a little bit of English. I'm going to guess he was from somewhere in Eastern Europe, and I offered to get him something to eat, and he asked if I could get him a warm sandwich, some kind of hot sandwich, which I was able to locate and bring it back to him. And as I walked further on to find a place outside of a baker's type thing, but not an ordinary bakery, just a pretty cool Italian bakery place, there was another young lady, and she was there, but she could speak a little bit of English, but she at least had the wherewithal to know that probably sitting outside there would be useful. And I offered her, could I get you something? And she elected for a sweet drink. I said, would you like a hot drink? No, just a sweet drink and something sweet, like, you know, some kind of pastry thing. No, you know me, that's hardly the thing she should be eating, but there you go. Who am I to judge? And obviously I got her that, got the guy, got her a sort of toasted panini, and went back, gave it to him, gave it to her. And of course you feel good, you feel better for doing that, but you're so desperate that the beggars used to be able to get a penny chucked in, or a 10 pence or something, but who carries them now? Anyway, just a thought. So anyway, getting for the meal, and getting back to the point yesterday about, if you watched yesterday, you know I talked about Willie Nelson. Of course you may know he's written a number of really cool books about personal growth, personal development, how to live your life to the max. But anyway, that thing about we can't control the negative thought. And then when I met up with a friend, he's extremely successful. He's the top man, top person in a global giant in the industry he works in. He's the guy, and massively successful in so many ways. And yet he's recently been through some real adversity. He lost one of his parents recently, and I could tell that had been, and he said it had been tough on him. You know, it was a situation where perfectly healthy, no symptoms, then one day a sore tummy. 5 weeks later, he'd lost his parent, cancer. And so there you have this thing, which we're going to see again, going to hear about this in the interview 3 with Kathleen. But what became apparent once he talked through that time of adversity and back on to where he is now, what he's doing now, what becomes really apparent, and I guess you must sense that with the interviews with Kathleen, it's just that those of us who use these tools and techniques, we just have this knowing that everything's going to get better, that things will improve, that there's still more. As I said the other day, you're still to write your book, you're still to, the story of your life isn't over. There's so much ahead, and just that confidence and that awareness and that knowing was just oozing out of him. It was so exciting to be in his presence. So, yeah, the thing is, going back to those people in the streets, I'm going to suggest that the woman who I met first, who couldn't speak any English, was so depressed, obviously, so, you could tell she was, she really needed heat in her body and food, and no chance of getting any money. And she was still there when I went back later to go back to the tube station, still hadn't collected anything. Can only imagine the negative thoughts. One can only imagine the desperately negative thoughts, and no hope or aspiration, and therefore not thinking. Didn't cross her mind not to sit where she was sitting, but maybe like that brighter young lady sitting outside begging beside a baker's, and a posh baker's at that. But she was full of hope. I could tell she was inspirational. I could tell she was going places, in her mind at least. What about you? Where are you going? Hopefully I'll get Kathleen's interview up soon. It's just, I'm very, very busy with life. I'll see you at Monday. Bye now.